Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Thursday night, and we are back at it with only murders in the building. Sorry we missed you on Tuesday, but you already know life gets in the way sometimes.
Thursday night,
And
and we are
we
back
do
at it
get
with
busy,
only
just like
murders in the
this. Old
building.
school.
Sorry we missed you on Tuesday.
Boom. That has been a while since I've done that. Wow, I wonder what I was watching to knock that out. Oh, just starting it off old school style. And the one who's coming old school with me is the one, the only, Fuck Teddy. What's up, fandom?
Yo, watching these two episodes, I'm like, I despise Teddy, man. First season, I'm like, come on. Second season, why it did the if it really proves the fact that Oliver is not the father, like you really just did it. Because in the previous episode, he was like, I'll get my revenge and I'll fuck you hard. And he said, oh, once you look at my dip, and literally that's what happened when he looked at the dip. Oh my gosh.
Details. They tie it all in. You just gotta love the way they do it in this series. It is amazing. Only Murders in the Building, Season 2, Episode 5, and this one's called The Tell. And we opened with Will remembering growing up with his dad and how his dad seemingly would have been a fairly decent poker player because he's pretty good at spotting people's tells. But if that's the truth, wouldn't he be a little bit quicker and better at solving these murders?
You can always tell certain tells, but it's that one tell you just can't tell, I guess.
Then we bounced over to the lady prison with Jan's crazy ass and talking about, I'm worried about us, Charles. Are we okay? It's like, what are you talking about? Woman, you tried to kill me. Like, there is no us. No, we are not okay. Like, what is she thinking?
Oh my gosh, the back and forth saying like, "Oh, it was great us, solving those crimes." She's like, "The crimes that like you committed." But yeah, but the way how we did it together, and then she was like, "You tried to kill me." Oh my gosh, I wouldn't like blame him because if it was Becky G behind that freaking mirror thing and she tried to kill me, I would still be doing conjugal visits because that's freaking Becky G now.
Oh, man. Sometimes it's just too good to say no. What's up, Peter Griffin out there? I see you, Jake Cruz. What's up, AK? I hope you're feeling a lot better out there. Oh, time will heal it all. I hope you're feeling better by the day. But Jan keeps trying to like romanticize it, and Charles keeps reminding her, like, forget all the other noise. You tried to kill me. And she just paints this picture, like you said, like the type of killer she is, but just don't worry about the details. Just concentrate on the love part. It's like, what a big, I mean, how much of a psychopath is this woman? It's too much. But Jan paints a picture of the type that she says the killer is and asks if anyone has a new friend. And then the camera jumps to an Alice scene and Mabel's new friend. Did they just point out the killer right there?
Nah, I don't think so in one bit, honestly.
That have
Like,
been.
I do agree that she is like using Maple, but I don't think she's a murderer.
You don't think she's a murderer? They're just it's too
No,
obvious. They're trying to put that.
exactly. For me, it seems like too obvious if she is.
Oh man, yeah, that's kind of right in your face. That was a nonchalant way of like trying to have her party at Mabel's though. Like it just seemed a little too convenient, like to just suddenly have some mystery leak in your roof.
And then it'll kind of be like even like Oliver even said it like, wow, if it would be like the same thing as season one, or for them like their first season for the podcast. It was like we had Charles dating the murderer, and now we have Maple dating the murderer. Like we don't want the same thing for like two seasons now. It'll be repetitive.
I like that. And that's even better that they're touching on that if it doesn't work out that way, that they made it look like it. But no, we've moved on. We've advanced past that. That'd be tight. I like that. And then right on cue, while Oliver is trying to have a nice father-son moment with saying he'll never let their relationship take a backseat to it, just instantly couldn't even finish the sentence before he put Will on hold and bounced. I was like, come on, Oliver, be better.
Indeed. And why you have to have your freaking kid as one of the flying monkeys? Like I would have had like my kid either the lion, freaking the scarecrow. No, scarecrow, call back to Michael Jackson. He was like freaking the scarecrow. But come
You're
on now, a flying monkey? Your kid don't have that much talent that he had to put him as a flying freaking monkey?
oh,
Come on now. I would have had him as Oz. Come
there you
on
go.
now.
The man behind
Uh,
the curtain, at least.
like, why
Oh,
would you have that? Like, that's some disrespect, though. Because if that was me, and like literally going back in time, I've been like, Dad, why the hell you had me as a flying freaking monkey? I could have been one of the stars.
I could have been somebody. I could have been somebody. Oh, so delusional thinking that he killed with that Orson Welles joke. Like everyone laughed, especially the kids. Like, no, they did not. Like that
I don't
guy,
even know who the hell that is. Like,
right?
who is that?
Old school actor. Oh my god. Oh, walking through the secret passage and knowing Charles had a secret way into his place, and Mabel soon discovered one into hers as well. And not only that, she also discovered what would be a clue, like that might have been dropped by the killer. So it's like, did that seem a little too convenient, or did they just stumble onto something big there?
Oh, they slept on something big though. But I'm surprised they really like catch on that quick with that clue though. Like I'm I'm not sure if it said Pickle Diner on there or not. If it didn't, okay. But if it said Pickle Diner on there, obviously it was from there. They should have put two and two together.
Yeah, yeah, that's a little too much. But yeah, they should have noticed that right out of the gate and been there immediately. And how did Oliver and Charles get so quickly like caught up on the Iran Contra and like with such fond memories? Like that was a weird little side scene. Like, did you even have any clue what they were talking about right there?
Hell to the no until they got to Watergate. Well, until then, I was like, what the hell's going on? But it's like reminiscent to that first season when they were like in the car and they were like going back and forth about that saggy balls freaking song, whatever. So I guess it's just Martin Short and thing and Steve Martin's like bantering back and forth there. So I
I mean,
guess it seems like an inside joke. To me, it was an inside joke, but if it wasn't, then I'm like, what the hell's going on?
well, I think that was kind of the point of it. Like they know like your generation has no idea. And it was a huge deal. Like a huge deal. And it's like nobody even thinks about it anymore. So I think like I almost think that was like their little side joke of putting
Hmm.
it in. Like this was such a monster deal. Like it was actually a bigger deal than Watergate, la di da, but nobody even remembers this anymore. And like I think that was kind of their touch on that. Yeah, that was just kind of a little sideways. I was wondering, I was like, I bet he doesn't even know what they're talking about. Like, why are they putting this in? It's just so meta. It's crazy. I kind of love it. But it's funny, like how many like relative jokes Oliver made throughout this episode. Going back and like rewatching, you notice all the like clues and hints that he dropped. Like it was pretty sweet. But we weren't even thinking about Oliver like not even being Will's dad. Like even after all the hints that he was dropping throughout this thing, like that was never even on the page. Like, didn't that hit you sideways that that was even an option that he might not be his father?
And I hope he is the father. If not, damn. Well, his biological father. Because even though he ain't the father, he is his daddy.
Right, exactly. I mean, he's regardless, he's definitely his father. I mean, that's daddy. You brought him up, you reared him. But yeah, that would be what a kick in the face. Like, oh, that'd be my worst nightmare. I think absolutely. So funny, they're like super fans were like there at the diner eavesdropping on him, like breaking down the case. Oliver's like, I'll issue yourselves a spoiler warning. Like, I don't know. This show is killing me.
Like they didn't like notice like in the corner of the well, at least Mabel could have seen in the corner of her eye, her peripheral vision.
That they were all there. I mean, you spent
Yeah.
time with these people. They've been in your homes. Like, you didn't realize they were sitting right there. They're just so caught up in their own world. Oliver's definitely caught up in his own world. Like, he is so extra. He's the ultimate diva.
Hmm.
And then for a second time, Charles asks if there's anyone trying to get like close to them, and like when very conveniently, just then Mabel gets a call from Alice. Like just very sus. Like I don't know, are they just being too in our face with that?
Of course. And that's why I don't think she's the murderer.
This can't be. I love how Mabel says like this isn't that. This is just a friend who's an artist, and now everybody's looking at her suspect. Like yeah, that's a little too in her face. But again, Oliver just being so extra, like Mabel is obviously trying to downplay her gathering, and he's just instantly like, invitation accepted. Like, I don't know where. I'm like, nobody invited you, kid. Get a clue, detective. Unbelievable with this man. Oh, but that's your favorite character.
Indeed. Invite the man. I will literally invite this man to parties just so he can play Son of Sam. When I saw that, I'm like, is that really a card game? I literally went on Amazon. I'm like, holy shit. Son of Sam is an actual card game.
Oh my god, no way. I didn't even know that. That's funny. I'll get all the provocative tidbits right here. Oh, and Oliver's such a dick, just slamming on folks he doesn't even know. Like, hey, professor, did you come by hot air balloon? I'm not gonna lie, I laughed out loud, but what a dick. Oh man, he's getting it. Or Alice like trying to compliment his waistcoat, even saying like she used to have one just like it. He's like, I doubt that. Like he is just not a good person.
Even like rewatching those scenes, I was like trying to find her tells about that first introduction. I'm like, did she like really wear that because she didn't like touch her hair or anything, or found her, or was like, I guess she was like drinking, taking sips after certain points in time during the introduction to see what was her tells. But I don't know about that. Her seeing Charles movie though. You think she saw it?
No, no.
Dang.
Why is Charles so awkward though? Just straight comes out and says it out loud. Like, I'm bad at parties. I come off as a bit creepy. Like, dude, who's gonna sit there and stay and talk to you after that? Like, I probably would just because, but
That's just how awkward he is, to the point that he would literally announce it to any like random person,
like that's just
just
what.
as like an icebreaker. But then obviously they're gonna walk away right after that.
Yeah, that's not what anybody that just met you wants to hear. Like, are you kidding me? And speaking of creepy, I know Oliver did not just walk in with a bowl of pills telling everybody to get pilled up. Like,
Of course. At first I thought that was candy, but I'm like, then he was mentioning, what was it? Dan had it written down here. How he mentioned it. Oh yeah, red before green, make it green, and then is what? Red before green, your liver is dead. I'm like, what the hell?
green before red, your liver is dead. Yeah, ridiculous, dude. He is this.
And then he said, oh, they could be expired. I'm like, could be. Are they? Why would you freaking like take expired freaking drugs?
I wouldn't take a pill anywhere. Somebody comes in with a bowl full of pills. Here you go. I'm like, no.
He just keeps them handy to a party
I don't know what
he
kind of
didn't
party you
freaking
thought
wasn't
this
invited
was.
to.
It's like, oh man, it's like, But he brings his son. He brings in his son a Sam game, like you're saying, and like tries to out Alice as the number one like real murder in life, and only to find that she was lying, but only to fit in the posh art community. Oliver, just the ultimate buzzkill. Like that whole party was into it, and then you just killed everything.
Hey, at least we made sure that she wasn't the murderer though.
Oh, your boy's on with it. Did we though? Again, like we did find out Alice was lying, and Mabel's not leaving there until you tell her why. Like, but you live there. Like, why would you be going anywhere? First of all, Mabel. But I don't know. That whole apologizing for lying scene seemed a little sappy. Like, I don't know. Is somebody still lying? You think maybe?
Of course, we saw in the next episode. We saw the truth. It was in the pudding, or in the pills, I should say.
Oh man. Speaking of lying, is Charles trying lying to himself, acting like he doesn't still want a relationship with Jan?
Bro, this man still has the frozen blueberry bagels in his damn freezer. Like I would have threw that shit away. Like why would I have the reminder of the freaking blueberry bagels to the person who tried to kill me?
Oh man, never could be a pill guy. Me either. I don't even like taking aspirin. I have just never liked pills at all. Oh man, that was just too much. He's like, those are all pretty big things. I could have been a contender. Oh man, Oliver follows the stranger that slid a full envelope of money under Bunny's door back to the diner. Knowing him, like I'm honestly surprised he didn't just like clam up about the cash and keep it.
True, very true.
Okay.
But it could be, end up, tying into the mystery. So before then, let me go and investigate it first and then. But it's weird how when they were in that diner, like they never like questioned him, oh, can we actually speak to the person who served her that day? Because literally in the previous episode, they learned when they was retracing her steps that she did it, unless it was like they knew she was there when they were looking over the clues. But in the POV of the character of Bonnie, we learned that she didn't have Ivan. No, DJ left. But yeah, but I was saying, we on that episode, we see that Ivan wasn't there on her last or second to last time she was at that diner. So now you're back.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what the hell happened there. It just went blank. That was wild.
Talk about blackout.
Yeah, right? It was like, what just happened? I was like, hey, I wish I could see my eyes on camera. Like, what was that? But yeah, that's crazy. So back, you were talking about the diner.
Yeah, because on that episode, Bonnie's last day, like we saw, like in our POV episode, that on our second to last time in that diner, Ivan wasn't there; it was someone else. So I just assumed that the trio knew about that, but it seems like within this episode that they didn't know. So it was like itching in the back of my mind. Like when I first watched it, like why didn't it? Until I look back, I'm like, okay, then maybe they didn't know. They just knew the clue of they went to the diner. But then Ivan, he didn't even mention that in his first time when they first were there. When they asked him about, oh, these are my regulars and things, and the people that sit in that booth. So it's like, why didn't he mention this before? Then it just seems like he doesn't know that
Yeah,
she's dead, because why else would he return the money?
that's true. That's true. That kind of shows it's probably not him. And are you? I mean, you're kind of buying the story. Like after you heard that she was, she didn't want any problems. But yeah, that is weird. Like if he heard there was a problem, then if she, why would he return the money? Like I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
There, he doesn't even read the newspaper because I'm pretty sure her murder is in the papers.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I mean, it's that neighborhood. I'm sure the whole neighborhood's talking about
It's New York City. Unless you don't read the papers. I can't honestly recall the last time I read the Daily News or New York Post, honestly. So I shouldn't be talking myself.
But they're not gonna have to worry about it because while talking to him, he's shown that the diner actually has a camera, and they can go
Hmm.
back and see exactly who it was that Bunny had lunch with on his day off.
But it's not in 4K.
Oh, I know that's a problem. This is unwatchable. Back at home, Charles is having a little pillow talk with none other than Jan, and like, is he really gonna get back together with the woman who tried to kill him? Like, can he really be that lonely?
That lonely, or was it just that good of blueberry bagels that he was like, I can't go back.
I
Can't go back.
can't say no. I'm trying to chase the dragon. I guess so, because the next day he took the blueberry bagels out of his freezer and down to the jailhouse to give them to her. Like, was that a sweet gesture or just sad?
Sad. Just plain sad. But it's Charles though.
Speaking of sad, Will got the DNA test back and something fishy going on because Oliver's 100% Irish, but Will's test came back 50% Greek and not on his mom's side. So when Oliver looked down and saw the name on Dima's, I was dying. Like, is that why Teddy kept bankrolling him all that time for the guilt of sleeping with his wife?
Yep. He got fucked. Well, in his Edison she did, and then he just looked at the dip and he choked on it.
That's so brutal. Oh, he's gonna lose his son and his dips all on the same day. Like,
And that's what we got in the next episode. He ended up eating salsa. And he's like, oh, it's not bad.
I had no idea. Oh, Charles is like, we can. Charles trying to soothe him and console him. That was amazing. Oh man, just a couple quick questions. See if we remember anything about the show. If you remember these answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comment section down below. When did Oliver tell his son was the best time to live in New York City?
1977.
Incorrect.
Damn. 1993.
That is also incorrect.
I have no idea.
Oh man. Hey, what's up, Jackie C? Good to see you out there.
I know what was going on too. It was like burning garbage cans. It was showing like porn in the movie theaters, which to this day I still don't understand that. Like, oh my god, get a freaking tape.
Look at Jackie C just come right in with the right answer. 1970, just crushing it right out of the gate. Well done, you. That's awesome.
I was 7 years off.
All right, getting it. Oh, what card game did Oliver like to play back in the 70s?
Son of Sam.
You already know it.
I gotta buy that off of Amazon. I have to get that for my house.
Oh, just get it now for the collectors. Where were the matches that Mabel found from? Already said it.
Where was it?
Yep, where are they from?
Oh, the Pickle Diner.
Absolutely correct. Crushing it. How long has the Pickle Diner been around?
Damn, I don't know that one. I see. 20 years?
What year was it founded? It was written right on the matches, right underneath the Pickle Diner.
Oh, that I don't see.
Since
1953?
That is incorrect. 40s is incorrect. 50 years, throwing that general out there. If you know the year, write it down there, put it in the comment section down below later. And last but not least, what did Charles say the Iran-Contra was worse than? Not just as interesting.
No idea.
Oh, we spoke about.
I wrote down so much good ones. Like, what was freaking the initials in the prison? I'm like, this man here in X, that as a question of the H plus H.
I cannot be having you guess all the right ones anymore. Can't be having you get me dialed that 100%.
Like, what did it say on the letter that Bonnie gave to Ivan? The envelope, not the letter.
Oh, what did that say? More than usual. No, she said it was more than usual. It didn't say it was for the DJ gear. It said, oh shit, what did it say? I do remember that. That'd have been a good question.
Aha! Stumped him.
It did. Oh, I'm sitting there. I can see it right now too. Um, oh, it didn't say for the DJ gear. It said, she's the one who said nobody else can use it. He's like too much this time. He's like nobody else can use it. And it's oh my god, what did it say on the envelope? Now you hear me? I don't know. I can't remember. What was it? That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good
For
one.
Ivan, my favorite. XOXOXO.
XOXOXO. Nicely done. Well done, you. That's going to do it for this one, episode 5. We're going to keep it moving right on into episode 6. Only Murders in the Building, season 2, episode 6. And this one's performance review. And what looks like it is confirmed, Cinda Canning is a terrible boss. When she told poor Poppy that she was letting all the loud air in, dude, I just want someone to dump a glass of water over her head or something. Can you imagine somebody like that?
Like this episode, I'm just like standing again. I'm like, why are you still here?
Oh,
Why?
Evil. Do we have one of those cases here where like Poppy is like the true talent and Cinda just steals all her best ideas?
That's what I pretty much thought of it at one point. I'm like, is it really all her? And then since she's the face of it, they made her the face and her not.
Because yeah, she's like, that's my idea. That's my idea. Like every time she does something good, that's mine. That's mine. I did that. You better not tell anybody. That's mine. Like what? Like, you're evil. But it looks like Mabel and Alice are okay and back to getting to know each other better. And are we okay with and like trusting this woman yet?
Nope. No, I never trusted her. Like literally the first time when she literally slid into Maple's DMs.
Yeah.
Like she just give off that stereotype of I'm just gonna pretty much use you from jump. And then once they find out, they're just gonna break it off. But before then, they have to sleep with you first, which already happened in episode 5, and now here we are in 6. So this is gonna be the end of that relationship.
You think that's gonna crush it?
Yep. And even if it was like literally what happens in the end of this episode, hell, I would have.
Oh, I would have been done before this. How ridiculous is Charles still being so smitten with Jan, though? Speaking of like these crazy relationships, like she said, we never broke up, and he's like, "Well, I just assumed." Like, woman, you tried to kill me. Like, she's all. How many times are you gonna make me apologize for that? I'm like, forever, psychopath. Get gone. Like, are you nuts?
Yeah. You literally tried, like it was like even multiple times. Like first she tried to drug him, then she tried to like freaking like blow up the damn building, even almost tried to shoot him. Like, come on now.
She's talking about the first one and the third one. Like, you're not. You are a serial killer. Get gone. Like, are you? No, poor Charles. Like, I know you're lonely, but come on, man. Snap to. What the hell? And when Jan said, I still love you, like, is that crazy? Like, were you not yelling at the screen the same way I was? Yes, that is the epitome of crazy. You are nuts.
Yep.
Oh, my
Insanity. God. Expecting a different answer every time.
Oliver is always so extra, though. Like, just talking to that man in the doctor's office and talking his ear off. Like, when he grabbed that stranger's leg and started patting it, say, sound like someone you just met. Like, dude, I was like, that poor man. Like, I don't know.
You can just tell how nervous he is. He always like talks, that randomly and thing, but you can really tell that moment. It's like, oh my gosh, like, is he my son? Is he not my son?
I get he's tripping, but this man doesn't know that, and he does not know you. Like, sound like anyone you just met, like all rubbing and patting his leg. Like, at the very least, how do you not get up and change seats? Like, I don't know, I was tripping. Like, or is it just like you just deal with it in New York? Like, oh well.
Oh hell no! Like that's like almost a fight right there. Like, why are you touching me?
Right? It's like, do not put your hands on me. Oh, speaking of changing seats, we see Miss Cinda Canning may have a bit of like IBS and needs a Poppy to stop what she's doing immediately and come make an excuse for her to get out of the meeting. Like, oh, she is just the ultimate. And like she said, don't ever be too good at the job you don't want, because basically she's going to be stuck there forever, it seems like.
Dang, that kind of hit home for me right there. I'm like, damn, I got to get out of Amazon.
They're speaking to all of us. Get it. Take that knowledge. Didn't you just know immediately though that was a Brazos film set when they were on there? Like before that actor even opened her mouth. Like I'm like, this does not feel real.
No, I didn't feel it. And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh shoot. And then he was like talking normally, and then it bam, touch of dementia. And I'm like, that's in dementia just really just took you out of the scene.
And would you still have that annoying nuisance of a human being still be your stunt double? Like she stole your woman, then she stole your omelet, and now she's trying to steal your scenes. Like she would have been kicked to the curb.
Yeah, but you know Oliver. But hell, she kind of like apologized. It took years, but she apologized though.
Yeah, I don't know. Some things
And
just
then she
aren't
tried to
worth.
help you like win back Jan, but then at that point you learn that she's the murderer.
Oh,
But she
so
did you do a good favor near the end of the episode, so
yeah, she did a solid there. But she got paid for that. That's what I was thinking. Like, okay, she did solid, but she probably got paid for that. So I
oh if she got paid for that, then yeah, she ain't a friend though.
don't know. Right? Oh, but then our crew meet up on the Brazos set to discuss Oliver's latest findings with the video of the maybe killer. And my question is, how are they like just now noticing the fingerprints on the matchbook? Like they've looked at that thing like 100 times already.
First off, I'm pretty sure Mabel even like had her own fingerprints on it because I think she picked it up with her own hands, right? When she
Mhm.
first got it. So it's like boom, we already got her fingerprints on there. Now you're gonna not have your fingerprints on. So it's like, well, what the hell?
What's really going on with all that? I don't know.
Just like the knife.
And whoa, how is Charles' makeup artist just going to slip that in that they did it once and let us know that it was just once and it was a different time?
I'm like, yo, Charles, get with that woman and leave Jan alone in that freaking prison cell.
Right? I mean, come on. Like, this is too much information from this woman, but obviously she's as like quirky and weird and like awkward in social situations as you are. So perfect. Like, that's who he needs to be hooking up with.
And two, Charles got game. I don't know what the hell it is, but this man got game. He was able to get with a freaking murderer previous season, and then we learned years back he had freaking this one. Like, yo, he has game.
Oh,
He just doesn't know it.
hey, he's Brazos. You better recognize. How warped is Charles to let this like obviously smitten woman slip away because he's too emotionally wrapped up with a psychotic serial killer? Like to give this a chance, though. I mean, come on, Charles, snap to and let's get with it. This is obviously the one for you. So our crew gets summoned back to the Arconia to get a verbal chastising from Detective Cripps, and he's tired of them interfering and making his job harder. And we also see Cinda Canning isn't just like a bad boss, but she's like a bad person, more interested in getting like extra views than getting to the truth.
Yup. To the point that she even got a Maple's former coworker saying like, "Oh, she was the one that cut his finger." But I'm like, did that really happen? And then Mabel was like, "Oh no, that was another incident." So it's like, who are we supposed to believe? But since because of the whole Cindy Canning and how she like manipulates the story, I'm like, okay, maybe Mabel is right.
And speaking of, did Mabel really think she was gonna like talk Poppy into keeping Cinda's like latest hot take interview off the air? Like you're just gonna go ask her to do that and she's gonna do it for you? Like I don't know. That was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no.
It was perfect timing when Poppy said Cinda does respect me and then gets whistled for like a dog. Like, is that is that relationship ever gonna blow up?
It seems like it is now near the end of the episode when she confirms like, yeah, I'm never gonna like get you like promoted or so. So then it's like, yep, it's pretty much a matter of time.
I like how whenever it's time to like text someone, Mabel instantly takes over. Like, yeah, you're just too old to be texting. Let me take care of that. Oh, she's not wrong. Oh, I love how Charles turns every situation into an old Brazos episode too. Like, oddly enough, it seems to work out more than often than not. But it's like, come
Not
on.
even just a Bravos episode or any other type of show or movie that he was in. Like before when he was like the police or sheriff, whatever, in that park in that one movie. Or in the delivery when he was
Right,
I was
exactly.
like it's always something that he was in and they all were always terrible.
He was ready to act up and buck up too. Then the paramedics come in. He's like, "Oh, thank God." He didn't want none of it. He didn't want any. Oh man. But I like how Oliver also like delivers like the glitter bomb and then starts walking away all nonchalantly and gets like 2 steps and then starts running back to the car like parked 50 feet away. I'm like, yeah, nobody watching's gonna notice any of that. What is this? But Poppy scheduled herself for a meeting with Cinda to discuss a promotion, and we already know that's never gonna happen.
Nope.
And so, as our crew wait for the murderer to grab their planted secret surprise, it comes out that Charles is still in constant contact with Jan. And while they argue about it, we see our suspect in the background, like getting glitter bombed. And of course, our crew is too wrapped up in the Jan story to even realize it. Like,
I at
God,
least have my windows down so I can actually hear it still, but the
something.
back and forth and thing. But Charles should have known the fact that if once he goes back, if he's like doing the conjugal visits and thing with Jan, like that's really gonna hurt Maple. Like she literally killed her best friend,
Yeah.
her ex lover. Like that's really gonna hurt her.
How do you think
Like
that's going to affect her? Like, she thinks you're on her side and you're up here still with, like, this is a mass murder. And you're like, oh, well, it's like, got to get mine. Like, that's ridiculous. There are more fish in the sea. Dude, you're makeup artist. Come on, Charles. But, the crazies are the best. I mean, I get it. But come on, man. There's got to be a line. Got to be a line. But poor Poppy hears the truth that she's never going to get a promotion staying here. And is she going to turn on Cinda and maybe like end up joining the Only Murders in the Podcast building podcast?
doubt it.
You don't think she's going to turn completely on her?
Nah, it's just a trio.
Like, we don't need any extras. We got just who we need.
Mm-hmm.
How great was that seeing Charles finally put Saz to good use? Like, I was wondering what he meant, like when he said maybe I don't have to break up with her. We see it's.
When I heard that, I'm like, oh, you're gonna have the freaking stunt devil do it.
You figured that out? That went over my head.
Instantly, I'm like, oh shit. So she's gonna end up visiting. First and foremost, the moment Jan even came there. Oh my god, for a second I thought my job was calling me. Well, instantly we saw Jen like go there to speak to Charles, and we didn't like see Charles's face there. I'm just like, okay, boom, instantly. Because in previous when we first ever saw her, people always like assume, okay, is that Charles? Is that Charles from behind? But then next thing you know, it's not. So instantly I was like, okay, that's not this is stunt devil.
That one got me. That one got by me, but he was not just talk. That was straight up pillow talk. We already know there was more insinuated there. That was not just talk. I was like, come on, Charles, be better. But by the end, Jan seemed to be getting pretty into it, and Jan or Saz gonna? You think Jan and Saz are gonna end up and hook up at all, like he did with his last girlfriend?
Nah.
You don't think those two will end up? I don't know. Jan seemed to be getting pretty turned on with Saz doing it. Saz looked too. He's like, "Is this doing anything for you?" She's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, all right, I'll keep going. You don't think that's gonna turn into anything?
Nah.
Can't do it. Saz is too smart to get hooked up with somebody that crazy.
I don't know. She seems to be smarter than Charles.
Not much. Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot. How messed up would that be, walking into your apartment and finding all those death reenactments set up like that?
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Dude.
Wait, was it in Maple's apartment? I thought it was in her studio.
It was in Mabel's apartment.
Okay, yeah, she was dumb for that. Well, she should have did it in her studio in the back.
And how did Alice even get in? Like, to do all that? Like, got all these murders going on in there, and they're just letting anybody anywhere just walk right in?
Ridiculous.
I was like, come on, man. You got how many murders that just went down in the last couple months, and you're just letting anybody into anybody's apartment? Like, that's crazy. Like, you have a doorman. Lester, be better. Oliver's on pins and needles awaiting the results for his DNA test, and poor guy's like afraid he's going to lose his family and his dips all on the same day. Like, which one do you think he'll miss more?
It's kind of a tie. It's 50-50 between the.
It's self-centered. It's going to be a toss-up, and that is just sad in itself. Oh,
hold up. Even Jake was like, he thought it was the studio. Now I got to relook back at that episode. Hold up.
What studio? Her studio?
Yeah, and where she saw the scene. Yeah, it is a studio. I just looked it up on a little studio.
It's at the studio where she went to that party?
Yeah. It was in her apartment.
Because I remember that they just redid the mural on the wall. Because I thought that was the same mural she had on her wall, and that was all done at her apartment when she walked in. Because that's what I was tripping. Like, how did they even get in there? So yeah, I have to check that out.
It looks like the apartment because she like recreated like her entire apartment within and then the studio. That's why it looks. That's why you remember it as a studio.
Right. Yeah, I just thought
it was her apartment, but yeah, it was in a studio.
Right on. Oh, okay, that makes a little more sense. Because I was like, that just seems like a big plot hole. Like, how are they letting these people in there? But Poppy calls Mabel to dish on Cinda and lets her know what a liar she is. And it looks like we may have called it. And she actually is ready to jump ship and jump into our crew's side and like help out in any way she can. So we'll have to see where that goes. And while talking to her, we see the person who got glitter bombed is on the same subway car as Mabel. Is she going to have to take down another one? We already see later
What do you
that
mean take down another one?
she's already. We're already looking like she's got.
It ain't looking good for Mabel right now. I should say bloody Mabel right at this
Right.
point. Like
I'm telling
I was
you.
like, damn, why did you do that? Why? Why? Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, she took down Oliver when he was following her. Not Oliver, but Oscar when he was following her. Like, remember when he was in the tie-dye
I don't
hoodie?
think she freaking stabbed him though.
No, but she took him down. She put him down on the ground. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
she
gosh.
don't have to take down
I
the
can't
man.
even remember. Like, did she even stab him?
No, she didn't stab him. She just flipped him over and was on top of him. He's like, whoa, 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 and let him know.
No, but in this episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think she did stab this one and ran away.
Oh yeah, she did. She did. I think she stabbed him in the arm or something.
Yeah, something like, I mean, self-defense, but nobody else is going to look at it that way. Not when you're
Nope.
dealing with bloody Mabel. Oh, Charles, being a good friend, tries to introduce Oliver to some dips other than Greek, and Oliver repays him by wiping his fingers off on his sweater. Like, what? He's just a bad man. This is not a good guy.
There's no napkins around,
Yeah.
man.
So let me use your sweater. Oh man. Speaking of bad, Oliver gets a call from Will, and it looks like Mabel has gone viral again by stabbing another person on the subway. And the guys don't realize it was the glitter one. Like, it's looking more and more like, I don't know, maybe Mabel is the killer. Or was this again just in self-defense, do you think?
One, it's not good. Like, so we have to say more. It probably was self-defense, but people in that not hospital, so they train not gonna think so. I don't know, cause
No, we know how it's going to get painted, but it's like, where are
hmm
we sitting on this? Like, I mean, where are we just so like on Mabel's side that we're thinking it can't be her, and then in the end we're going to find out it's absolutely her?
yeah, no, I don't think it's her.
I mean, that's how it did start out with this whole thing was her over a bloody bunny, and it was her
True.
stabbing her knitting needle in her chest.
And every time we see that scene, it's not. It's always fuzzy
Man,
every single time. But I don't know. I don't
she
think
can't
so.
remember exactly.
Then
And
I'm like rewatching. No, I'm listening to Phil the Issues guys podcast on like the first season, and every other so often it's like he's mentioning like it could be Maple, could be the murderer, or Charles, and I'm like, what the hell? They're like, imagine if it's Charles,
that'd be
because
insane.
he doesn't trust Charles at all.
That's
So
why he's such an awkward psychopath, because it's Charlie. He's actually a murderer, and that's why Jan was so attracted to him. What? That'd be insane. I love it. That'd be great if it's Charles. That would be a twist I would not
if it
see.
was the final season, like do it, that'd be Charles or one of the trio. If it's like the final season, and then that's like the last moment. It's like the screen will pan and boom, it's like one of the trio is the murderer that season.
It was Agatha all along. Yeah. Oh, that would be insane. Oh, I can't wait to see what's going on, man. We got so much to figure out. Like, what's going on? Who's Will's real dad? Like, how did that break down? What's going to go down with that? How is Oliver going to be able to bounce back? Or was it just a false DNA test? Like, what do we think is going to happen with that situation?
I hope it was a false DNA test and he's the real father. It'll be upsetting.
Yeah, that'll be a
If
bummer.
so, Roberta, you got some explaining to do.
We've got some explaining to do big time. I mean, yeah, okay. That's why Teddy
He
just
still possibly slept with them or something, because within that previous episode, he's like, "Do you have a tell?" And like her eyes reverted over, and he looked a little uncomfortable. So it's like something definitely happened between the two of them behind Oliver's back.
something's going down. That's why I kept bankrolling all those deadbeat shows, because it was just out of guilt. He felt bad, so he just kept doing it. Oh, who knows? That'll be crazy. Can't wait to see the next two. But that's this episode. Got a couple trivia questions. If you know these answers,
Jeez, if so, that's why he always did it, because the son. Oh my God, that's his form of child support. Oh
right?
my gosh.
Basically, just kept bankrolling it. Like, all right, you paid for my son, so let me bankroll you back. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be pretty sick, though. That would be pretty sick. You said always being mean to Mabel. Who's always being? Oh, Oliver. Oliver is always mean to Mabel. He doesn't trust. He doesn't trust it.
You too, DJ. Practically this entire stream you were saying Maple did it.
I'm telling you, things are not looking good for this lady. I mean, it's like I said, it's almost like they got her loving it. They have us loving her, so it can't be her. We're on her side now, and that's how they do it. They suck us in, and then we find out it was her. Because a lot of times that's how it is in murders, like the thing right in front of you, and then you forget that that's what you saw right in front of you, and then they go through all this other stuff, and you forget the thing you saw right in front of your own eyes. Oh, geez. He's like, you called her a murderer. Who would call her a murderer? Bloody Mabel. She might be a murderer. We don't know. I said she took down another one because she did take down Oscar. She's got the skills. Like, she can hold her own. Like, I don't know. Why would she be doing that? But I don't know. Or maybe it's just poor Mabel. Like Jackie says, poor girl. She's just always on the wrong side of it. She looks guilty, but she's not. So we got just a couple trivia questions. If you know these, write the questions in the chat box. If you're watching later, put it in the comment section down below. What breakfast treat did Mabel cook for Alice?
What breakfast treat did she cook for Alice? A bagel?
It was not a blueberry bagel. This is not jam.
A waffle?
It was not a waffle either. Oh, what's up? Anybody remember what Mabel cooked for Alice the next morning? That morning after breakfast? Oh, that old school comfort food. Yeah, Pop-Tart. It was not a Pop-Tart. Oh, it was not me cooking. Oh, if you know that one, put it down below. In the opening scene, there were 3 posters on the wall behind Poppy. And Only Murders in the Building, A Knife Girl, The Story of a Murdered Child. What was the 3rd poster?
Avengers Endgame.
That is incorrect. Oh, there's 2 black posters and 1 white one. What did the white one say? You know that? Put it in the chat box down below. It was not an omelet. That is incorrect. Remember, it was Bloody Mabel cooking it. What angle were podcast listeners calling Detective Crepes about? Wasting his time. What were all the podcast listeners that bothering Detective Crepes about wasting his time?
It
was not oatmeal, Jake.
Dang, this one I have no idea. I can't remember. Yes. Again, I didn't write any notes for this one.
He said the ridiculous this. Wasting my time with. They're calling it the. It was funny. Oh, who did Cindy interview that made her think she'd come up with new evidence for the case?
I know it was the coworker. I forgot the coworker's name.
It was indeed. Anybody remember his name? Got in the chat box. Hey, what's up, Iron Tron? I see you out there. Welcome back. Welcome back. It was not onions and sauerkraut. There was no liver involved. Oh, yeah. Anybody remember the interviewer's name that Cindy Canny found? And where did said interviewer and Mabel used to work together?
Isn't it a restaurant?
It was indeed.
It was a pickle diner, though.
It was not the pickle diner. It was more of a chain situation. Anybody remember where those 2 used to work together?
Yeah, making me hungry now.
Oh, it's about time for Din Din. I still got to go out and get shopping. We got to get out of here, get a few hours of shopping in. I still got a lot to do. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Crepes tells Cinda not to drop any more episodes. Cinda replies, the only thing I'll be dropping is what?
You.
Incorrect.
Huh?
What did Cinda tell him the only thing she'll be dropping is what? Everybody know that one? And keeping it moving, a couple left. His time in regional theater and what taught Oliver that there's no getting rid of glitter?
Strip club?
Close but no cigar. His time in regional theater and what taught Oliver that there's no getting rid of glitter? Oh, he said bombs, panties. Incorrect. Starbucks, coffee shop, Whataburger. Oh, good guesses, but incorrect. Here's a bit of a deep dive. What was the promo code Cinda gave to get 50% off your first order of the soup she was hawking? What was the promo code Cinda gave to get 50% off your first order of soup?
These are probably the most difficult questions yet.
Oh, we dropped the ones on this one. Yeah, not easy. Kind of a deep dive. Soup 50 Cabaret. Oh man. And last but not least, how long did Cinda say it took her to even consider promotions?
5 years.
Correct. You nailed it. You're five.
Finally.
Oh, 1 for 10. Not too shabby. Oh, 10%. But we knocked one out and we're ending on the upside. Ending thumbs up. Oh, with a big one. But yeah, can't wait to see, like I said, see what's going on with this DNA test, see what's going on. Did Mabel kill this person or this glitter person? Like, what's going on with that? I mean, is she going to end up just being a murderer and she's out here just killing people, making it look like an accident? Is it all set up? Like, I don't know. Inquiring minds need to know, and we need to figure it out. We got 4 episodes left. Any idea whatsoever or whosoever the murderer is at this point?
The murderer. I have no idea. I now believe what Jake said in the previous when we were doing season 1 near the end. He was like, season 2 is difficult to pin the murderer, and even here I'm like, I really can't pin who the hell murderer is. Me by 7 and 8 possibly, but I don't know right now because I don't think it's Mabel at all. I don't think it's Alice. At one point, I thought it was the board, a new board member, the president, excuse me, but I don't think she is based on how she was talking about Bonnie. It could be her husband, but we barely saw her husband only for like one scene. It
Whose
could be
husband?
because the president's husband, the way he was like, "Oh, we had to get rid of her," so it's like it could have been the husband, and the husband kind of mirrors like the same outline as the glittered guy, as well as person meeting for the painting, but. I still think those are two different people, the painting guy and the murderer.
Could be.
But they really haven't like touch back on the painting thing and like Monty's mother. So it's like I wonder whenever that's gonna come back into a full
And
swing.
and her husband would know, or at least baby daddy, like seemed to know everything that Bonnie knew about the Arconia. Like she was full on
Hmm.
prepped and ready to take over. So if Bonnie knows about these secret passages, I wonder if she knows about it. And if she knows about it, she would be able to tell her baby's daddy about it, and he would be able to creep in and out and all around. So I actually like that. And it's kind of one of those things where they just showed him a little bit, like, oh yeah, I forgot that guy is in this. Like that'd be just how you would kind of introduce a murderer, isn't it?
Could be.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh man, can't wait to see you next Tuesday. Absolutely, yep. Catch up and get back on here and see if we can't figure this out together. So that's going to do it for us. I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I hope everybody has an absolutely amazing Christmas, and can't wait to see you guys next Tuesday. You guys be easy. Take care.
Blackout.